Guys, White Metal Games here. Haven't done a studio update in a couple weeks, been kind of busy, so I wanted to show you what I'm working on here in the studio. So we'll just get right into it. Like I said, it's been kind of busy, so it's been sort of a lot of catch-up. I don't know really where to start. Here's some Shrikes we've been working on for a client. Shrikes are one of those units that aren't very popular, I feel like. Maybe because there's not a nice model, or maybe because people just don't know how to use a jump pack troop with 3 wounds. These guys come in a little bit more expensive than Terminators, but I really think they're pretty nice. This particular client wanted some of these wings, and we're going to put some bone swords on them. So the bone swords are here. We add those to rending claws from Raveners, so those will look pretty sharp. We're working on, let's see, a couple of different skeins, is what I'm calling them. These are some sort of egg sac pouch things, and we've used these on a lot of different models before, but we've never just put them on their own. So the idea with these is we're going to cast these up as a sheet, so that way we can sell them as, for example, terrain or for buildings. If you wanted to make a building look like it had been, xenomorphed, or it was like an occupied space Hulk or something like that, you could put all these egg sacs on the walls. So that way it gives you an option to sort of add those on cheaply and quickly and easily. So look for that. That's coming up. We've also got a few more different skeins. Here's one for Space Wolves. It's a wolf pelt. We did 3 of them, and one of them has a wolf skull on it. So 3 different pelts there. And these are dragon scales. These are intended for people like salamanders and that sort of thing. So the idea is that you can put these on vehicles, you can put these on walls, that sort of thing. We actually built a couple of vehicles just for it. Here's a rhino, and we put a little dragon helmet on this hunter killer missile, this little dragon skull. So what we're going to do is we're going to cast up the skein, and we're going to put it up here on top, maybe a small one on the side of the door here. Put that up as an example, and then that way if people want to buy just that, they can buy just that. They'll be able to buy those in small sets, and it'll be like an upgrade for your vehicles. If you don't want to sit there and sculpt fur or sit there and sculpt scales, you can easily add that on as sort of an option. We have one for a drop pod too. I had an idea to do a drop pod conversion kit for Tyranids, where basically you turn your drop pod into a Space Hulk, where you add something like the egg sacs to it, and you add a couple different weapon options. I don't know if that's going to work. I'm sort of struggling with that a little bit. But if it works, it works. We'll see. The Emperor Titan is still being worked on. I haven't done an update video because I haven't done an update. I assembled sort of a loose fortress a few weeks ago, but I've had family in town. We've been off visiting. We've been moving around some relatives, so I just haven't had any time to work on it at all. So once that all calms down, I'll be able to get back to that. Some more spore pods. I thought I was done with these, but I was able to make 9 more. I had enough legs to do 9 more of these. I sold 3. I got 6 more left. Those are currently up on eBay for a real steal. I think they're about $25 maybe. So less than the price of a Space Marine drop pod. And if you buy a couple, you save on shipping. My oldest client, and by oldest I mean longest client, has been working on an army of Kali for a while. So here's several units we added to the army. First off is a tiger unit. We're using these as hounds of corn, or corn hounds, or whatever you call them. So these are tigers from a World of Warcraft miniature line. It was hard to find them. I was only able to get about 10. But I got enough to form a unit, and so those are all done. Actually, you could really use these painted just the way they are, sort of a white bingle. We wanted something a little different for a Karanak upgrade, so what we did was I added some armor and plating to him. This is a helmet from a Defiler. And then I have some skulls hanging off the side, almost like a gondola kind of. Because Kali, there's a lot of skulls in her army, that kind of a thing. We came up with these for Fiends of Slaanesh, which Fiends are based on 40 mils. These guys are too. These are Rakshasas, and they are were-tigers that we've cut their hands off and glued back on backwards to make the Rakshasa. We've given them all these little sort of loincloths made out of bone. Those were spares from a vampire dragon. This helmet piece up here is spares from a Talos that I had. I used it sort of as a helmet, and then these little sort of almost dreadlock looking things hanging off are kind of this sort of metal fill-in for the helmet, which I really liked. I think they give it a nice look. So we built 5 of those. For his cavalry, This is what he's using for Skull Taker. It's a rhino, because there are Indian rhinos. So we got this rhino from a D&D line, and then we mounted him up there with this Lord of the Rings figure. We sort of blended it in with a couple different bits. He had a cloak, but we modified the cloak and really amped it up, added some more cloak bits to make it look like it's really billowing. And then we gave him this sort of flaming skull-like thing, because Skull Taker is holding a flaming skull. So this, I think, looks a little more alchemical, a little more smoky. Anyway, I really like it. Came out pretty well, I think. Here is his Skull Crusher Cavalry. We put them on Gorgons. Bulls were a big thing, apparently, in Indian culture. For some reason, so we got the idea to do some Gorgon riders. So I think that came out well. This is the champion. You've got his little skull banner up there, sort of thing. And we also have a musician. Here's his horn on the back. And let's see, the banner pole. This is an easy modifier. Just put on this little banner. Worked out well. Here's the battle standard bearer for the army. This is a Merid from the Pathfinder line of Reaper miniatures. It's basically a sea spirit of some sort, and the banner is actually from a Cyclops or a Gorgon, as they call it, the Bestigor Gorgon. So it's the Beastman Gorgon, and I really liked this banner. I think it's a loincloth or a skirt on him, and it's so large it worked great for a battle standard. And we just added that to a pole, blended it in, and modified it, and made it work really well. So that's about 3 or 4 more units there. We also found this wonderful World of Warcraft miniature, which is very hard to find. I don't even remember what she's called now, but she worked really well for this army. So we just added a few bits to her. I put her this sort of scroll and skull in her hand, and I added this cloak to the back to sort of drum her up a little bit. And I put her on a slightly scenic base. It's mostly slating, just to sort of give her some more addition to the base. She's mounted on a 40. So yeah, that looks pretty good. This is the final version of the first of the Frost Giant miniatures that I'm working on for my own personal army. So those are it's sort of hard to see them, I guess, because of the focus, and I apologize for that. It's kind of dark. I think I'm in focus now. So basically, they're just a cream and brown colored army, and then I apply a dip to them. I actually don't mind dips, especially when they're in a brown or natural color scheme. And because these guys are mostly cream brown army, I actually don't mind it at all. The only kick was the dip dribbled a little bit onto the icy base, and I don't like the brown on the blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and cover that up with some snow flock to cover that up a little bit, and that'll be fine, I think. It's not bad. They're pretty quick and easy to bang out. And they look all right on the table. I'm not disappointed. Here's their Land Raider. It still needs to have a wash applied to it, so it's almost done. I did put a patina on all the shields, this sort of green patina, which I actually really like patinas. Whenever you're doing bronze or coppers, I'm in big favor of it. There's a front view of the Emperor Dreadnought. You can see there's the fortress up on his back. It's getting ready. I'm going to probably glue that up today and get that on there. That's my big goal for the day. So anyway, so I guess that's about it. So like I said, not a whole lot going on. Actually, business has been a little slow ever since Necron Second Wave hit, of course. As it's not unexpected, but as the Tyranid First Wave and then Tyranid Second Wave and then Necron Second Wave hit, slowly but surely, models that we used to produce in mass are now not in demand. With the Summer of Flyers on the horizon, things like our Tyranid Harpy are also going to be out of demand. So, slowly but surely, our eBay business has sort of trailed off, which I'm not surprised at. But we haven't really been getting a lot of commissions. So if you're looking to have a model commissioned, now's a great time. We certainly have availability for that. If you're not interested, that's okay too. There's certainly plenty of other converters out there. But we are certainly taking new projects right now. And in the time that we don't take new projects, we just simply continue to work on models, and we'll put those up. We'll post those. We'll continue to post videos. But if you have anything you're interested in, just send me a line at caleb@whitemetalgames.com, or just obviously subscribe to our YouTube service. Make a post here. Follow us on Twitter, and I guess that's about it for now. So take care. Happy wargaming, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.